So here's that 1970s message in a bottle that I've been trying to solve, sent by John Forsyth of Neptune City, New Jersey, back in the day off the fishing boat Miss Belmar. Sent off fishing boat Miss Does that say Miss Bellman? So here's a close-up if you want to see that again. Paper's super fragile, very difficult to read, but I have some updates for you guys. Now it turns out John sent this message in a bottle in 1971, and I only know that thanks to you guys because y'all shared the story and got the word out, and over the weekend my inbox started blowing up because I started to hear from John's family. They heard about this. Man, I started hearing from everybody, nieces and nephews and all kinds of people, but the great moment was when I got to have a FaceTime call with John's sister, Kathy. They were super close. She says that John helped raise her, and she was just wonderful to talk to, and she shared a lot of the family history with the Miss Belmar, and just told me a lot of stories about John, which was just so great to hear. It sounds like he was a really interesting guy. Now, at one time, Kathy was working on the boat as well as John, and their brother Bobby, and even their mom was working on the boat. So there was 4 of them working on the boat together, which strikes me as just wild. Now, one of the interesting things that Kathy told me is that the original Miss Belmar, which is what John sent this from, the current Miss Belmar is a different boat. This one was a repurposed World War II PT boat, about 65 feet long. Well, when John sent this, it was the first time that boat had ever gone out to a feature called the Hudson Canyon, which is 90 miles off the coast. And he mentions being 90 miles off the coast in here, so we know that he sent this on that trip, which was in 1971. That makes this bottle, well, this message in a bottle, 54 years old, 53 and a half, let's say conservatively. That is the oldest message in a bottle out of 140 that I've ever found. Obviously, a thrill to me and just an honor and a joy to be connected with John's family, to get to talk with Kathy and hear some of the family history with the Miss Belmar. One thing I forgot to ask Kathy about was this crazy story about the Miss Belmar when John was the captain, where they almost collided with the Queen Elizabeth II. So they're out fishing one day, John's the captain, and he sees the QE2 coming towards them, so he tries to call him on the radio. Doesn't get a response. The ship keeps coming at them, and obviously he panics. He says, in the article, he says, the ship was coming at us through the water like a giant knife. I threw all 4 engines into full reverse, and a minute later, the ship was passing right where we had been fishing. So obviously a pretty spooky moment, but glad that they made it through that one. And I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who shared this story. I just can't tell you how much it means to have help solving something like this. And obviously it means a lot to Kathy as well. Of course, she thought that she would never hear from John again, but thanks to you guys, here we are. So yeah, thanks everybody. I hope you'll consider sharing this video just to get the word out that the message has been solved, and I'll look forward to solving more messages and bottles with you soon.